Welcome back to another episode of Stoppage Time TV. We're live, back in the flesh, live and direct inside International Week. So we went for a little international flavour. Hold tight, the Canadian Premier League on the merch. Hold tight, surely I'm Mayo's brother as well, because I know he plays for this team. So, yeah, man.
He said Nigerian.
New York 9.
Yeah. Hold tight the York 9. Hold tight the
Cavalry. We're coming.
That's a bit of you still, but you guys already know what it is, man. Hold tight all the DSPs. That is Stoppage Time on Instagram, YouTube is 360. SoundCloud is Stoppage Time, Apple's everything and anything. But listen, international break. We're gonna make it lively. Let's go over England quickly. We're saying Harry Kane back in the goals, or staying in the goals actually.
Listen, that's what he does for England, man. Soon to be the country's all-time scorer. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he probably would, to be honest. I mean, he should. If you're looking at what his record is, he should.
He probably will.
32 goals, 45 games.
Good to see Wink scoring as well. I know we were talking about the midfield last week, so score a Harry Kane-esque finish. Good to see.
Rashford restoring the feeling as well.
I mean, I don't need to speak too much, as I say, but 9 goals in 10 games in his last 10 games. So
is he 9 and 10?
9 goals in his last 9 goals in his last 10
games.
English
is
9 goals in his last 10 games.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Decent.
Mind
you, though, let's take it all with even Harry Kane's.
We don't need to talk too much.
I've seen some stuff on the social media.
Listen, we don't talk yet.
we don't talk yet.
Talk too much.
I heard that. Let's go over the first game quickly though. That was the 6-0, right? Kane hat-trick. Chilwell looking amazing.
Balling.
I mean,
he's got a hat-trick of assists.
Yeah, it's always difficult because you're facing the opposition is the opposition, right?
Yeah.
But to still kind of get the 3 assists in that quick succession, it's kind of like...
Even for Leicester, though, he's been putting up good assist numbers this season, and it's like the way he's getting up and down that left-back slot now, he's made it his own over the last year or so, and like...
Chilwell's
top
How far
player.
Would you say he's
like
off from in terms of people that operate in that position, left back?
I'm not ready to have that discussion.
No, I'm not saying he's the best. Yeah, but as in, is he
like the top left backs? If we're saying like Robertson right now is the bar for the Premier League, I'd say he's still got a ways to go. Like especially for me, I like to see longevity in players like him. Like
100%.
He's last season he was very good, and Leicester weren't even performing at the level they are now. So if they can now do something this year, and he's a big part of that, which he's looking like, boy, he'll get his name in the mix, but. Consistency for me is the most important thing, and at the minute, he's looking good though.
Yeah, I mean, in the world, I don't know why I'll put him in the world. You know, when you're talking about the world, you want to see these players playing in the Champions League and all that type of stuff. Yeah,
literally.
So I wouldn't go far saying in the world, but in the Premier League, he's defo right up there. Robertson's obviously the best, but I had like Danny Rose and that around that, but then now
I'd say he's probably better than Danny Rose.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is why I'm asking the question.
I'd have him at the top, but not the top.
No, of course, but this is why I'm asking the question, because if you look at it, he's starting for England now. Danny Rose is no longer starting. If you look at what he's good at, he is very good at it. I wouldn't say there's many that operate
both ends of the pitch, to be honest.
Exactly. So
like, you don't see him getting.
Yeah, we're not seeing him at that top level where he's completing Champions League. But if you look at him as a player,
for what he's done, and
it's a matter of time before either Leicester get into the Champions League or he goes to the team in the Champions League, and then we'll see from there. But so I ain't got no doubt about it.
Another one to watch. Tammy got his first England goal.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
that's big for him, man.
I don't see why he couldn't just get a start against Kosovo though.
That's to be honest, like Harry Kane's filled his boots or a disqualifying period. I don't see why not. Like give him some confidence. He's got the first goal in the first game. See what he does from a start. I don't see why not. I mean, Cho did.
Yeah, Cho started. I mean, Tammy should get. I mean, to be honest though, is maybe on the good side is that Tammy is only going to be getting charity minutes for England anyway. So maybe coming off the bench, you got to get used to that. Nicking some Jermaine Defoe goals. You know what I'm trying to say? Because he's not going to be starting at the Euros. So let's be realistic here.
And what do you guys make of... that's mad, but still.
I'm just saying, bro.
What do you make of Southgate's man management and management in general? So we've mentioned this now. You've brought in Tomori into the squad. All of these guys not starting against Kosovo. The whole Sterling issue has been and gone with the Gomez situation and whatnot. That looked a bit...
I don't like the way he handled that,
In terms of formations, in terms of from the World Cup, what England did to what they're trying to do now, with who they're trying to play in the personnel... you look at it and you kind of think, does Southgate kind of have a complex with his management? Because he doesn't seem to be convincing with anything he's doing at the moment, for me personally.
How do you mean?
As in, England are performing well, but you'd expect England to batter everyone in this group.
Yeah.
But in terms of selection, it's still a little bit like, okay, what
he doesn't know his best 11
in terms of how he's managing individuals with that whole situation, it seems a bit shaky as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, Southgate's always been about, I mean, there's inconsistencies in terms of starting Cho when you said that you're only going to pick people on form.
On merit,
so there's little times where he's a little bit inconsistent, but the team in the qualifiers is going to be changing a lot because you're going to pick guys on form. I'm sure when he got into this job, he might have always thought Dele Alli was going to be part of his plans. Now he's not. Lingard, now he's not. And I respect that. As I've said from the start, when he came in, he said, look, I don't rate Chris Smalling.
Well enough,
I don't rate you. I'm not going to call you up. Lingard's not now playing ridiculously bad. Like now it's over the top how bad he's playing. So now he's not going to play. Dele Alli, same thing. So the team is going to switch around a lot. There will be slight inconsistencies with Cho. Obviously, you're trying to fast track him a little bit, see if he's going to be ready for the Euros. But I think all in all, I don't see much about what he's doing wrong, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think like he's done well to mesh both the young players coming in from the under-21s. I think every call-up he's tried to introduce a young player in the team, whether it be Maddison, Tomori, Abraham. So for me, he's doing the right things.
Those players
the football he's playing, he's winning.
No, but those players are of the talent where they should be moving anyway. If you think about it, why would all of these players still be playing with under-21s when they're kind of better than most of the guys that play in the first team? So, like, yeah, credit for doing it, but if
England
he didn't do that,
they haven't done that. That's the thing.
But
so
England,
you see him break
England
a trend for the first time. Yeah, they do.
You have to,
and he's doing it.
So yeah, I can credit you for doing what you have to do. But again, like the whole situation with that should have been dealt with internally and whatnot. It's got out of hand now.
That could have been dealt with differently. But then it's one of those. I mean, it's happened that type of thing. Yeah.
So
I mean, I don't think I've already said, but I don't think he did anything. I think he's gonna have to speak about it. It
would have got out eventually or whatever. But for me, I think for it to get out as soon as it did, like the day of the event.
Yeah, but
I know they tried to get out in front of the media.
Surely that means there's somebody that's gone and spoken to the media.
What,
you know,
these
footballers have these media people on their phones and that, you know, they just message them, boom, boom, this happened. These all released the story.
Yeah.
Like if that comes out, you just not going. One of the things that Southgate has been trying to do is transparency with England. Everything he documents, he speaks about. That's the vibe he's trying to give off. Yeah. So now, if an incident like this happens, and now all of a sudden, we're doing internal private matters, you're going against what you were saying that you're going to be. From
My only thing with Southgate is he's done a lot of chopping and changing with the squad. When it gets closer to the tournament, I'd like to start seeing a more consistent starting 11 and both 14, 15 same players getting selected, if I'm honest.
I think he knows his core of Maguire. To be honest, he might not know his goal.
I don't think.
Actually, to be honest, it's hard because
that's what I'm saying.
The reason why I'm saying
there's
hard,
a lot of young talent, but
it's hard because the experienced lot, I don't think they're grasping that opportunity like that. Yeah, like the experienced lot will be like Henderson,
Stones,
Ali. Even though Ali's young and Stones, but they're not grasping it. You know what I mean? They're not taking
the only one is Kane, essentially.
Maguire and Kane. We know they're going to start on Pickford. We know them three are going to start and Sterling. There's a couple players. But not everyone has really taken that. Rashford, you started you're now going on form. Is that enough to get over Sancho? Is Sancho going to end the season on good form? Like you don't
Rice,
really know. There's a few like Rice not having the greatest season with West Ham at the moment. Yeah. You don't know if he's going to be playing starting at the Euros. So
Maddison's getting minimal minutes.
Exactly. There's so many players that haven't actually like grabbed it yet. Trent, I think he has now, but
Chilwell as well.
Well, the Trent one was interesting. I know it was whoever they played, but didn't he move into centre mid?
Yeah, I mean,
15 minutes.
You were saying that.
I like that. Like I think it's something they should try more with that midfield. I don't think, like you said, not anyone's grasped them positions. He's technically good enough. Now, I saw the first 2-3 minutes he got roasted by some Montenegro. It weren't a good look. Don't get me wrong, but
it's international ball.
100%. When there's a better when is there a better time to try it than when you're 4-5-0 up against Montenegro? Yeah, literally. So for him, it will develop his game.
I give him credit for doing that. That is
and that's the thing with Southgate is I've liked that he's experimented. He hasn't always gone with this is what the media want me to do or the public want me to do. It's like, cool, if this is what needs to be done, we'll try it type thing.
The one issue for me is England need to, the most important relationship on a pitch is your centre back pairing. Yeah,
They need to
England
nail it
need to
down.
nail down who's playing next to Maguire. That you can't. Mings, I don't really know if he's gonna be playing. Stones, I don't really know.
He don't even play for
Tomori,
City barely yet.
and to be honest, not all of them are top class like that yet. Mings and
Gomez
Tomori,
ain't
this is
even
their
starting.
first season, really get going. Gomez
Yeah.
doesn't get games. Stones, we don't. He's struggling now at the moment. Do you know what I'm trying to
Drowning
say?
at
So
sea.
Small is
England,
performing well though.
now England needs to nail down who's gonna play there, because
Smelly.
I remember even in the friendly days,
Smaldini.
even back in the day when the friendlies, like John Terry would play with Rio. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
the relationship
It's
you
a-
need to have,
yeah.
and
No,
so
that's
we
a
need to
fair
get that.
point.
We need to get that going,
But
man.
listen, man, some other stuff. Messi has won an international.
Hey.
trophy.
They finally made a trophy for him to win.
Oh man,
What is it? Imagine that. It's a
friendly.
derby,
friendly that you
like
get a trophy for.
with two countries, and you're making trophies. Is this what it's come to? What are they calling it?
I don't even know.
The Super Classico. or
something like that. Something like that. But
Dumb.
yeah, he's got a trophy. Ronaldo got a young hat trick.
He scored again today as well. 99 goals.
He scored against Luxembourg today. Yeah,
Scored,
so that's
scored against 99.
I thought it was 100 he'd get.
Nah, he was on
got
98. So
98 as well.
he only scored one against Luxembourg.
85th minutes, and they were chanting Messi all game as well.
He's
That's
probably,
how you silence
he's probably
them.
like record international scorer.
Not yet.
Not
Probably
yet.
some
Indian
Iranian with
Donny.
like
No.
200 goals.
No,
or
no,
something,
there's a
innit?
guy from
Indian
India.
India
I
or
knew
Iran or
it. Some
something.
country
Yeah,
like that. I
yeah.
knew it. Yeah.
But-
Yeah, you still got to beat him.
Boy,
That guy's
listen,
got
man.
109, I think.
Listen, man. That's them, man. But it's interesting we're mentioning them because if you look at where we are, it's nearly the end of the decade. So
2020.
everyone's done their homework.
Mm.
Team of the decade, worldwide football.
You can start.
Goalkeeper.
I'm going Manuel Neuer.
Yeah,
I think
I'd agree.
for
Is that
what?
Shuhun?
Yeah, for what the way he's changed the goalkeeping position, like
Yeah.
to now you have to play with your feet. And the credit to Pep to actually giving him that, but it's one of those where he's won everything.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, but before that, though, I mean, he was still kind of doing this whole centre mid thing.
Yeah,
before.
like even at Schalke,
Yeah.
very young, was it against United?
We wanted
Like that game, I'll never forget.
Fergie walked onto the pitch to shake
Shake
Neuer's
his
hand.
hand,
Fergie don't do that with any
And
boy,
I mean,
you know.
I think the pinnacle of like him just being so good is when he got nominated second for Ballon d'Or. It was kind of like this guy's clear. So
That
for
was-
me,
that was dead,
keepers.
it was dead.
A
But at the
keeper
same
should never,
time,
ever be in the top.
the same
Come on,
time,
you're
for you
so
to be that
disrespectful
good-
to
A
keepers. Like
keeper
Klopp.
should not be
Bro.
in a top anything for best players in the world, man. Let's be real.
Tell
A
us more why.
goalkeeper can have a
What do we
big
want?
impact on a
Nah.
team, bro.
Tell us
a
more.
big,
Why-
big
why not?
impact.
Goalkeepers
Like a
have
keeper.
keepers just save the ball, mate.
No,
That's it.
but he was
Nothing-
doing
Okay,
more
but
than
we're
that.
giving
Nothing
He
else
was
to
doing
do.
more.
giving
There's
him-
nothing.
but
You don't
you
have
just
to
give
run
him
right.
credit
You
for
have to
passes.
save.
But
you
what
have
he
to
was
save
doing
that
Just
shit.
was
give him
more.
credit for.
It doesn't matter, man.
for-
Just save you
Come
have one
on.
job. Save. That's
You're a
it.
hater.
cool.
How
Let's
can you
go.
be a top 2 player in the world as a goalkeeper? That's just silly.
Influence.
Anyway,
Influence.
that's
What we're
silly.
saying, right back.
Hey,
For me, there's only one name here.
let's not even debate it. Danny
Alright, cool.
Alves.
Well, I'm
Danny
taking a picture.
Alves.
Cool. Left back.
I'd go Marcelo if I'm honest. I
I'd
think
go
Likewise.
Marcelo.
I had Marcelo
Yeah,
down.
Marcelo's he's
Yeah,
ridiculous,
I'd
innit?
for
Over a
argument's
couple
reason
years.
maybe throw Philip Lahm in there, but
I
then
think
did he
in
have
terms
the
of-
full decade?
Exactly. Whereas
only had
Marcelo's
kind of-
operated for
When
the
did he
whole of it.
retire? 2015, 2014. So,
2015, I think.
15.
but
But
you
even
can't in them 4 years though. What he did with playing
It
right
does.
I
back,
didn't
left back,
retire,
centre
so
mid,
2015.
No, but
treble.
that doesn't
World Cup.
exceed. That doesn't exceed
He
what.
retired after 2015 though.
That doesn't
it was
exceed
it was
what
after the
things
World
done.
Cup. I remember that.
Yeah, but that
it
doesn't
was
exceed
after
what
the season
after the World
Marcelo's
Cup.
done in the whole
Yeah,
decade.
yeah. What Marcelo's done is incredible as well.
Yeah, 2014.
2014.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
17.
saying. Captain,
Yeah.
the treble. Yup, Heynckes.
Marcelo
Marcelo
has
though,
been too
with Real Madrid, 3 Champions Leagues in a row,
Mhm.
and like
the
he
performances
played
that he's put in.
big roles in all of them.
You've got
Even in the finals, I would say.
for
he
me
played
as
massive
well.
roles.
If you look at how a lot of left backs are playing now, it's because of Marcelo. If we're
He's-
being real, he's laid down.
I
kind
wouldn't
of
say
the
that.
glue. No, come on. In terms of
I
Marcelo
mean,
going
Marcelo
forward,
is playing like that
being-
because of Roberto Carlos, and Roberto Carlos is playing
He's
like
the
that.
evolution.
Exactly, but I'm saying
Yeah,
now.
I'm trying
I'll
to
be
say
real
that
with you,
he
but
is
when they
the
were hyping
evolution
him
from
to be the
there.
new
Mm.
Carlos, I didn't think he'd do it, but he's actually gone on, I
Here
think,
we
to
go.
be better.
And everyone's kind of
Nah,
realised.
I'm
No,
not having him better than Roberto.
Possibly,
I'm not having him
possibly.
better than Roberto Carlos, but
I don't think the debate is
don't
that
forget,
is
Roberto
that crazy
Carlos,
to be honest. Like
Brazil.
Marcelo,
That's a
for
big
what
shout.
he's achieved, I don't think we'll respect it till he's retired.
No, but don't forget, Roberto Carlos has 3 Champions Leagues to his name as well. It's not back
Yeah.
to back,
but he
but,
still has three.
but
I
Marcelo
get it,
as
and he's
well,
got the
come on.
World Cup. I get it,
Yeah,
but
he's-
I
the
think
thing
the
is what, the international
the trademark run-ups and then wild free kicks give Carlos
Iconic.
more clout than
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
man. That's
he deserves.
iconic, fam. That's
I don't
that's
know.
No, it's
football
not more
history.
than he
Marcelo-
deserves, 'cause
deserves a lot of credit for what he's done over the last
100%.
couple of years. People don't give him enough credit.
Even on what you said, right? Everyone's gonna remember Marcelo for like the crazy runs, the pings, the touches,
The
and
little
whatnot.
1-2s at the outside.
But
the
that
boot.
was birthed from who?
Yes, I'm
Roberto
saying
Carlos
he's
is
the
the kill
evolution.
man with them
I'm
shots,
saying
you
he's
know?
the evolution. Listen,
the
it's
hell?
But
fine.
you said that he could
It's
be
fine.
potentially be better.
I don't know.
You said it is. You said it with chest.
What is it?
Man
A
said
crime
was
to
Calvary,
say
you
that.
know.
Listen,
Man said it was with
listen,
Calvary.
I'll say it. I'll take Marcelo
Alright, cool.
over Carlos. Me
Would you?
personally,
I mean,
would. Me
I would
personally,
take Roberto Carlos. Yeah, obviously I've seen more
for him
of
to hit
Marcelo,
4 shots into
but-
Rosette.
But
No, come on, man. That's
Hey,
disrespectful.
listen, Marcelo.
That's disrespectful.
Marcelo was Roberto Carlos was offensive
He's
threat
a
as
pioneer.
well.
That's
He's
what
a
he was.
pioneer.
He's a pioneer.
Just iconic.
Just because
man.
you're the
This is
first, don't mean
Marcelo.
you're the best.
Yeah,
That's
No,
what
I
I'm
hear
saying.
you.
That's true.
Just
That's
because
true.
you're the first, don't mean you're the
there's a-
best.
But can you say? Can you say that Marcelo is definitely offensively better than Roberto Carlos? You can't.
I
really
would say end product wise, you're guaranteed a better end product from Marcelo than you are Carlos.
Was that
No,
with
man.
crossing and shooting?
I
What's
think
that
no.
with
I think if you're talking about who can whip it across,
He can
in
whip
better,
across better. I would pick Marcelo.
I'd
pick
probably say
Marcelo.
so.
Who's?
I'd probably
who's
say
got-
so. In terms of whipping across,
Yeah.
but as in an offensive
Like, if you-
threat
if
over
you looked
90,
at Carlos,
I'd say
he
Roberto
leathered
Carlos.
them in. Even like people give him credit for the Zidane volley, but he just whacked that over the head like. Carlos,
That's no, yo, don't disrespect.
No,
bro,
no.
go
Don't
look up the
disrespect.
replay.
Nah, come on.
That
you
was
can't,
just a
he
left
he
foot
wasn't
whack.
picking out Zidane.
Yeah, he
Nah,
was
I'm
not
not
I
saying
agree.
picking out
that.
Zidane.
No, but man
Like,
said
kick the ball in the
but
sky,
man
man.
Like,
said-
listen,
man
I
said
don't
like
want
he
it
just
to be
lumped
said. Look at
Yeah,
this, son.
yeah.
I don't want it to sound like I'm disrespecting Carlos and saying he's dead, but I'm saying Marcelo's the evolution.
Alright,
We gotta
cool.
appreciate it.
Let's not keep you
Better
stuck in the mud.
evolution,
I would
but
say
not better.
evolution and better. Me personally,
I
everyone
feel
might
Roberto
not
Carlos
agree.
is better.
Everyone
Made you
might not
shout.
agree.
That's fine.
International, he has pedigree.
made you shout.
Marcelo
Cool.
has no international
Sentiments.
pedigree. Zero.
Sentiments. I reckon this is where
I blame
we'll
David
probably-
Luiz.
This is probably where we'll disagree. But sentiments, I've got. Oh, mad, we even do centre backs.
Oh,
Who's centre backs?
imagine
This
that.
guy's
No, for
smoking.
me, that's a
bro.
shooting. Though. You're centre backs.
Centre backs, Ramos and
smoking.
Chiellini, I would say.
Ramos, Piqué for me.
Ramos, best centre back of the decade, no
Best-
doubt.
Ramos and Piqué.
Last
for me.
20 years.
Even though Ramos is a bit shaky defensively, let's be real. Ramos
goal.
defensively, no, he's not the goal anyway. But
For me.
defensively, he's very shaky in my opinion. But he has a lot of heroic moments, and in the biggest of big games, he
rises.
He
Bro,
rises. Yeah,
big
so I'll have
player.
him back.
Like
As
he's
an
won
actual
everything.
outright
Everything.
defender, he's not like the best like that. There's a lot.
No,
I
no,
think
no,
I
no,
think
no.
his disciplinary record makes it seem like it's worse than
No,
it is.
not
But we live
make
in
it-
an
no, I've seen
era
him-
where
I've
cards are
seen
given
him.
out.
Do you know
Mate,
what?
you can't be onto people like Trent every single week and
I know.
think that Ramos is a great defender.
Nah,
I'm
so
I'm
Ramos
sorry.
is
my-
the top
here's
notch
my-
defender. I
Here's
think.
where my issue with Ramos, right, is you look at him and I think that he defends based on intimidation rather than actually defending.
He's an absolute
Like,
leader. though.
Rotted.
No, but think about how many times do
No
you
way.
actually see him like tackles,
Bro, I will
interceptions?
pull up
No,
20
what?
minutes.
He does it.
No,
I will
no,
pull up
no,
20
that's cap,
minutes
that's cap.
videos,
Ramos,
bro.
Does it?
Ramos
He
is
does
on
it.
you, you know.
That's what I'm saying. It's more
He's
about
on you, he's
intimidation
on you.
rather than like
Bro.
if it's like a Chilean or something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, that's what I'll call defending.
No,
That's what I'll call
I
defending.
agree.
Like a Godin. That's
I
defending.
agree.
But
If you
Ramos-
talk
No.
about Ramos, yeah, and like greatest of this decade, yeah, because what he done. But now,
Yes.
if you talk as in the whole package, because he's a great footballer as well. But if you talk about actual solid defending, right? He's not better than Chiellini as a defender, and he's not better than John Terry. He's not better than Vidic. He's not.
No, he's better than
He's
Bonucci.
Bonucci's a bit shaky.
Bonucci's
How about
more known
Godin?
for his
How
ball
about
playing ability
Godin?
than he is
Bonucci-
defending.
How about
Yeah,
Godin?
Godin.
There we
There's-
go.
there's a
Godin, you can
ratio.
say.
I'm just
Godin,
saying,
Chiellini,
his-
I'm
that
hearing
goes
it,
back to the
yeah.
point I was saying.
Historically,
But as a total package,
yes.
There we go. That's
No
what I'm saying.
one
He has to be
competes.
there.
Yeah.
no
yeah.
centre back comes close to the total package to Ramos.
What in history?
I would say in this
In this
decade.
I agree.
No one
That's
comes
why he's
close.
the first one. And
I
for me,
agree,
you
I
got
agree.
Piqué as well.
PK.
I don't really again
For
PK. I
me,
don't think-
PK since Pep has left him, I don't know. He's looked shaky.
Nah,
I'll be
that's
real
come on,
harsh.
man.
He's
Last
had
season,
no,
So
no.
you
He's
can't-
had
you
some
can't
good
say that,
seasons, but I
Piqué's
think
there, man.
he's
Last
also had
season he was
seasons
good.
and big gaff moments as well for me. I don't know. I'd pick Chiellini ahead of him, even Godin.
Piqué's
The thing, the
definitely,
reason
man.
why I wouldn't, I can
World
hear
Cups.
Godin. I can
Boy.
hear Godin. You know, I can hear Godin.
Godin
but the
is
reason why
so
I'll go
underrated.
PK is because obviously PK's got a World Cup. He's got
Mhm.
Euros.
Thank you.
But
But the thing is, we can't
Uh,
just.
that-
give it
it's
to
part of
who's
a
won the
great
most
system,
silverware.
huh?
It can't be who's won the most
2012,
silverware all the
2012.
time, though,
Spain
man.
won it in 2012.
Like we
But
have
look
to
at-
take into actual performances, and I don't think performance-wise, PK has performed better than Chiellini over this decade.
But it's just
Well,
that-
we can't just take
You know
team
when we're
accolades
talk-
and say he's won World
Of
Cup,
course.
he's won Champions
No,
League.
Of
come
course,
on.
but you know when we're talking about team of the decade, we're talking about the crop of the
Like
crop,
you're
right?
saying,
Yeah.
basically, this guy is the best in this
Yeah,
position
I hear
on
you.
that decade.
You know we're talking about the crop of the crop, yeah, the best cream of the crop, whatever. You got Chiellini, who's just done nothing internationally, man.
It's not his fault, though.
That's what I was saying. Like,
we're talking about the best, bro. No. We're talking about the best of the best.
They didn't qualify for the World Cup 2014, and then 2016, when nobody expected anything, they actually done half decent.
In when?
And were they not in the difficult group as well, where they actually qualified?
When was this?
So this was it this World Cup?
With me, right? You see with Piqué, the reason why I say Piqué is it's not just on those kind of accolades, but it's just for me, it's the way he's performed. Yes, he's been quite shaky, and I think what you're
every
going
defender
with
can get caught out.
That's exactly. But where you're going is you're probably saying pure defenders in like he cannot defend like. And the thing is,
because it's debatable, man.
I heard that.
Can I make a shout? Why is no one saying Varane?
No, Varane's
come on, man.
Varane is
Varane was brilliant at the World Cup. Don't get me wrong, but I think
Varane is
last
one of the
season he was very poor. This season he's looked better, but I don't know. I don't think he's got enough body of work to compete.
Varane
with
is so overrated.
He's won the league. He's won 3 Champions Leagues and a World Cup.
The thing with
Don't
if you look at Varane,
in a lot of those seasons,
Ramos.
Varane was injured as well, and Pepe was playing as well.
And
he plays in the finals, and he plays, but he doesn't have. I don't think he has solid seasons on seasons of being a top. Centre.
And the thing is, you can't
think
compare his decade in terms of what he's done individually. Take away the accolades, you can't compare what he's done individually.
City was better than him at the World Cup.
There's no way you could put Varane and then you put Godin. Like you can't compare what they've actually done individually on the pitch to what the names we're talking about.
Don't get me wrong. I think that one's up for debate.
Yeah, that second centre
put that
back
to a vote in the
Ramos
comments or whatever.
You said Piqué, right?
I don't really know.
Piqué.
Godin was a good.
So that's why when you said defending, if you're gonna go defending, you have to put Godin.
Because Atletico Madrid, no matter what bad season they're having, they're solid.
He has still been a defender, like,
and it's been since about 2014-ish as well. He was really good in
2012, 2011 when Simeone
in the World Cup. In the World Cup for Uruguay, he was their best player.
Because he's playing with Hernandez. He's playing with now.
Hernandez is playing with Miranda before that.
Is it Juanfran?
Bro, that pairing, him and Miranda were a problem.
Exactly, he played with Juanfran as well. So you got to remember that.
Juanfran was a right back. He was a right back.
But I'm saying, like, in terms of who's played with, like, he's made defenses look like kind of impregnable.
No, 100%. 100%.
It's a tough one. That one next to Jimenez is hard, though. Don't get Jimenez is hard. He's hard. Cool. But anyway, that'll be up for debate.
DM, I'd go. Me personally, Kante. I think he's
Busquets. Busquets has to be there.
Busquets is the Busquets.
It's a different type of DM.
No, but I'm sorry.
Kante's not even a DM.
You can't have. Thank you.
I'm playing.
You can't have Busquets. You can't have
what?
Kante is a centre mid, bro.
Well, now he is, but let's not act like he
can't
can't play. If I told him, yo, you're playing DM, he's going to play there. When was he playing Leicester season?
I don't want Kante picking up the ball off centre back.
Come on, bro.
Playing the centre mid twos. Him and Drinkwater.
Him and Drinkwater were just sitting there and absorbing.
Yeah, centre mid
two. They were two deep-sitting midfielders. Come on.
No, but it was Drinkwater that was getting the ball off the defenders.
It was 4-4-2, 2 centre mids, all got to all Brighton.
Kante's a box-to-box midfielder.
No, there's no way you can't put Busquets in this team.
You gotta have Busquets.
You can't.
I love Busquets.
Busquets is arguably the best defensive player.
Give me your arguments as to why you would not put him in the team.
For balance. I'd put Kante in for balance, if I'm honest.
I don't get how Busquets was the balance.
I just think defensively,
of course Kante is better.
Kante more than Busquets. As simple as that.
But okay.
For the other two midfielders,
now
I'd
I'll
put
ask
in
this question: when you're making a World 11, right? Are you making a World 11 because it's like, you know what?
For balance.
Nah,
I want the best team. I want balance.
I do balance.
Okay, cool. So if you've got your two best centre backs of the decade, why would you then need someone who's going to start cleaning up? Why would you not put Busquets in?
They still need protection, bro.
Come on, man.
Busquets. The thing is, the difference with Busquets.
The
thing with Busquets is more of like a reader of the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what Busquets can do in possession and how he has played that defensive midfield role,
second to none.
It's different level. I've seen. There's Pirlo that can play it kind of similarly. Alonso,
like a deep
but
line.
Busquets, man, when he was in his
pressure resistant,
different level. Bro, the way he was press resistant,
no one could get the ball off.
I'm not knocking Busquets.
Smart.
I'm not knocking Busquets
because of
such
that.
A player. It's even annoying me that Kante is in a discussion with Busquets. I can't even lie to you. If anything, I'll still have Xabi Alonso in there as well.
When did Kante's body of work start?
Wait. Why are you looking at me like that about Alonso?
When did Kante's body of work start? Because you're saying it's the whole decade.
2015, 16.
So
Yeah.
you're telling me
So
from
I'd
what
say
Busquets
that
has
what-
done.
what
from
Busquets-
the beginning
what
of the
Kante
decade.
has done in the last 5 years has been outstanding.
You're pushing
So while
it.
Busquets
There
was
is
winning
no way you're not
Champions
telling
League
me
and World Cups,
Kante does not deserve to be
Kante
involved.
was doing. What was he doing? What was
He
he
was-
doing? He was an accountant.
Don't do this.
Him and Sari were accountants.
What was he doing?
Why we
No,
got to
what
trash
was that- what was that
Kante?
po-
Why
what
we
was
got
that
to?
post
No,
that-
no,
No,
no.
listen,
I'm not having.
I
this.
love-
Was it on that
I
post
love
that he said
Kante.
that
No
he
way.
works his job. He used to do a job.
No
way
He was-
we're not saying Kante does not deserve to be in the
when
discussion.
Busquets was winning World Cups,
I
Kante was a
respect
bin man.
Busquets.
Kante was a
Don't
bin
fucking
man.
do that. Come on.
Bro,
Come
fam,
on. Have some decency, bro.
Kante was a bin man.
Humility.
Kante was a bin man when Busquets was winning
Nah,
World
bro,
Cups.
bro,
That's what you're
come on.
telling me.
He deserves to be in the discussion. If we're talking about team of the decade, Kante for me,
Who
what
are
he's
your
done in the
other
last
two
5
CMs?
years, Iniesta and Cruz were the other two. No arguments.
The thing
you can't
for
even
me,
debate
the
those.
thing for me, if you're gonna put Iniesta, then surely we can't ignore Xavi. Xavi's been doing. Xavi and
For me-
Iniesta
for
fell
me,
off at pretty much
what-
the similar point.
I agree with you.
So
And what
I'm sorry,
tipped-
you can't have
What tipped one over the other? One
What?
won a country a World Cup single-handedly with his goal.
single-handedly.
Hey,
Get the
hey,
hell out of
that
here,
volley.
bro. Yeah,
It was
single-handedly.
against Holland as well.
Oh, I forgot
My
them,
Holland,
man.
but
I forgot Xavi was on the
happens.
pitch. I forgot
No, no,
Alonso
no,
was
no,
playing.
no,
I forgot
no.
Fabregas was there. I forgot single-handedly.
That
Don't ever
goal-
say that again.
I'll give him that goal. That goal for me is why I picked him. That's
So-
all I'm saying.
For me, if you have Iniesta,
You have to have Xavi.
you have to have Xavi as well. They're pairing. It's Xavi and Iniesta.
What,
It's
Toni
not Andres
Kroos?
Iniesta. It's, listen,
Toni
if you have,
Kroos?
I want Kroos
What he
in
was
there,
doing at
but
the
I don't know if
2014
I'm-
World Cup?
Cruz and who? Who would you
Kroos,
And
because
You're taking Cruz out
Yeah.
for Xavi.
I'm putting Kroos in there. I'm putting
and who
Kroos in
would-
there,
who
and
would
I'd
be your
put.
other one?
See, then if because you man are putting Iniesta.
I
so
put
it's like-
Iniesta and Cruz. I'm not picking
If you're putting
pairings and all
Iniesta, you
of
have to
this.
put Xavi.
Dad,
I'm
stop
telling
this.
you this now.
This ain't Barcelona
It
FC,
has
bro.
to be, bro,
This is
that's
team
the
of the
best. That's the
decade.
greatest midfield three you would ever see in your life.
And I was about to ask that.
It-
So
like-
why are we debating it? If we just
Xavi,
put the three in?
the thing about Xavi, Xavi in
'Cause that's
2015.
boring,
No, but you see when in the final season, when MSN when they won the league,
Yeah.
won Champions League against Juventus, that was when Xavi was on his way out.
On his way out, yeah. final
Iniesta
season.
after that did play a little bit longer, but he wasn't top level.
He had
Well,
the
wasn't
grey hairs,
what
he was done at it,
Yeah,
man.
he wasn't what he was. So for me, they fell off at the same time. And for me, Xavi's better than Iniesta. I've always thought Xavi's a better player than Iniesta. So
I don't know.
I can't now
don't
have-
know about that.
I don't
one.
know.
I
For me,
prefer
it goes
Iniesta.
back to
it's
that.
tough.
It
But
goes back to
Kroos,
the
3
argument.
Champions Leagues, a
Bruh.
World Cup.
Bruh.
Was
Tell
he
him.
part of the
Bundesliga.
Was he part of
Bundesliga,
the
the treble with
Bundesliga?
Bayern.
Yeah, Kroos got.
Come on,
That's why.
man.
So
Kroos
man,
gotta be in there.
Come on, man.
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
Kroos has
That's
gotta
why
be in
mine
there.
is Busquets,
Kroos.
Iniesta, Cruz. I just think in terms of
So
what he's done.
Iniesta above Xavi. So what decade does Xavi get into? So
One
Xavi
before-
doesn't get
the one
into any decades.
before.
Does
The
he?
one before.
No, but he actually could get into last decade's
Yeah,
midfield.
the one before.
Why can't Iniesta?
You could argue it.
Why can't Iniesta?
They both.
For me as well,
No,
I
but
think
Xavi was playing a little bit before.
the Euro 2008
He was the best
was
player.
his international tournament where he
I see him in
dominated.
Euro 2012. He made
Yeah.
her look cry.
Yeah,
He made her look cry.
Listen,
Made Polo cry, but-
we're arguing the best of the best here.
Yeah.
Like, someone's always going to miss out.
Yeah. Aye, that's a tough one there.
I'm
fam.
telling you, someone's always going to
The
miss
thing is,
out.
for me, Busquets is a shoo-in.
Yo, you know what? I might have to start altering formations because that left centre back doesn't need to be there. Man. I might have to pay free at the
You
back.
saying free at the back?
Yeah, I might have to pay free at the
Nah,
back.
you can't play free at the back because when you're playing Dani Alves or
Yeah,
Marcelo,
yeah.
that's one at the back. I'm sorry.
But listen, I think
that's a very tough
two
one.
of the front three named themselves.
Messi and
I think
Ronaldo.
where our
Self-explanatory.
conversation is going to be is probably be the centre forward.
Who you going?
I'm going Suarez, 100%.
Ooh.
I'm 100% going
I'll go
Suarez, and I can argue it as well. At the beginning of the decade, that's when he was killing at Ajax and scored how many goals in how many games. Moved to Liverpool, killed it there. Was banned and still killing it.
PFA
Moved to
player of the
Barcelona, has
year.
probably been the best striker since, apart from a few seasons. So how is he not the best striker of the decade? And he's won a lot of stuff as well. Lewandowski, yeah, you can
like
argue.
consistently every single year. He's come from being in the middle of Poland nowhere to Dortmund takeover, moving to their rivals and putting up crazy numbers every year consistently. Champions League, big opposition. Like he's made Poland relevant. Let's be honest. Like they're on a national scene as well. Like
I mean, but
you can't throw him in there ahead
won
of
the Champions
Suarez.
League.
That's the one thing I was gonna say. It's like when you start
when we think of him, we
looking
just
at
think about that
team
one
achievements,
For
though.
me,
I'm
take
looking
away,
at
take away the
performances.
Champions League, right?
But
Suarez,
Suarez,
I look at that
Barcelona.
Liverpool season as like the pinnacle.
Oh,
You're taking a piss.
Hold
At
on.
Barcelona, he went to another level. This is what I'm saying.
At Barcelona, in one
went to
season,
another level.
in in that season with MSN,
Yeah, the
he
MSN
scored
season actually
59
was
goals.
mad.
He scored
So
59
what you
goals
saying-
and 25 assists in a season.
And think about it, right? I just said at Ajax, yeah, he was like the most prolific striker at the time at Ajax. That is the
I
beginning
remember
of the
Ajax
decade,
period,
bro.
yeah.
The beginning of the decade.
The way I see it,
Come on,
yeah,
man.
if you're talking about the highest level of performance, yeah, that you've seen in a striker, how many strikers in the game, forget about in the decade, how many, and then that's including R9, that's including Henry, that's including whoever, how many strikers have had the season that Suarez had at Barcelona when he put down 59 goals and 25 assists? Yes, he had prime Messi, yes, he has
I was
prime
gonna say,
Neymar,
man.
but he was
still did it.
ridiculous.
He still
And he
did it.
scored in the
I
Champions League
understand.
final, and they won the treble, and
If you
I
wanna
haven't
take
seen,
another place
it,
as well-
anything like that. Then we're talking about exactly as you said. He was in Liverpool. He was dominating at Liverpool. He won the PFA Player of the Year at Liverpool. He was at Barcelona. He's now their third highest scorer of all time.
And he's been there for a handful of years. Man. Like, the guy's a killer.
He's ridiculous.
I
Suarez
could not
is
argue
historian,
anyone else
man.
being in there. I couldn't argue anyone else.
Aguero,
being in
Lewandowski, no.
Suarez has always been better than Aguero for me.
David
a good
Villa.
shout. That's a good shout. David Villa's up there.
He was the best player for Spain in the World Cup, and he won the Champions League,
He's-
and he won the treble with Barca.
I would say,
And
but
then
the only
even-
thing is,
even when he
David
went
Villa was
Atletico, he
shoved
weren't too
to the
bad.
left wing
And then he went
for
outside.
Barcelona, and then I
He went
can't be asked
outside.
to be seeing man and out in MLS.
He went
The
outside.
MLS.
I'll be honest, he
Yeah.
went outside.
That's
And the thing
only
is,
thing.
with
We're forgetting Zlatan.
No.
We're forgetting Zlatan.
No.
You can't shit
I'm
on
sorry,
Zlatan.
bro.
And you can't shit on Zlatan.
PSG, MLS, and
So now you can shit on Zlatan, but you can hype Lewandowski when Zlatan was doing the same thing. Are you going to
Come
now
on.
say
No,
now
no,
what?
no,
So
no, no.
Bundesliga's
I'm sorry.
up here and French league's there.
Bundesliga's
You
definitely
can't
better than the
really
French
say that.
league.
You can't really say
Bundesliga's
that.
definitely better than the French league. And for me as well, it's like PSG were embarrassed on a Champions League level every single time, and Zlatan missed out
I
in
won't
big
really say
moments. Come on, man.
embarrassed. He wasn't part of that 6-1. Don't
Okay.
get it twisted.
No,
I know
no,
you
no,
were
no.
thinking
I
that.
low-key, I was-
He was not part of
But
that.
have there not been big moments where he's gone missing in the Champions League for them?
So has Lewandowski.
And if that's
What?
Real Madrid with Barca.
Oh, because
With
you
the
guys are going to
hat-trick
think
at
about that
Dortmund.
one moment where he
No,
scored
no,
that
no,
4
no,
goals,
no,
right?
no, no.
You-
No, no,
alright,
no.
let's look.
Listen,
You're talking.
I'm just saying, if you're
Wait,
dismissing
we could do-
Lewandowski
I'm
and
not
Aguero,
dismissing-
you
Let me
can't
be
tell
real.
me
I'm not
Zlatan.
I'm
Let
not
me
saying
be
that, but
real.
I'm
We
saying
could
you
do
can't
anything.
say you can't say Lewandowski and then laugh at the idea of
We
Zlatan.
could do anything.
Zlatan,
Okay, yeah.
Came to
Listen.
United at their worst period, then
he was in
spent the last.
Italy. Are we forgetting that Zlatan was
Fuad.
playing for AC Milan in 2010?
Fuad, listen.
Are we forgetting that?
We can do
What, that
no,
league,
he-
that
he-
league,
what?
the league title
You
they
can-
won.
Sorry, he was
with-
playing for Barcelona in
you can throw
2010.
anyone
anyway.
you want.
But then he went
You can throw
Italy afterwards.
anything you want. There's still nothing that's going to disprove that Suarez should not be the centre forward.
Nah,
of this team.
Suarez.
There's nothing.
Suarez is a good shout. Suarez is a good shout.
It's not a
but-
good shout. It is the shout. You
No, I
cannot
want to
take
ask
him
that
out.
question. I want to ask that question for people. Zlatan
Or Lewandowski, who's had the better decade.
Yes, who's had the better decade? Yeah, I would want to know
Boy,
that.
I-
I would
I'm
like to know that.
picking
If you
it.
guys think that's fair
and
enough,
I love
don't think so.
Zlatan. I'm a big
I don't
Zlatan
think so.
fan, but no way.
So I
No
understand
way.
you're thinking, why would you say Zlatan's had a better decade?
For me, he's played in multiple countries. Yeah, and he's done well. Has he not?
Yeah,
One-
he has.
For me as well, he was putting down just as good numbers as well. You can't, and I'm not gonna now sit and say, oh, the Bundesliga is way better than the French league. That's why, nah, that ain't the case.
No, it's definitely a better standard.
Okay, so then we should never ever compare Lewandowski to Suarez because he's playing in a much better standard. So then we can't let's have some
La
consistency
Liga?
here. Let's have some consistency. So and
I don't
also
know.
just the goals that Zlatan scores, the way he played. Bro, Zlatan is a walking highlight reel while
He
being
is,
so consistent.
definitely.
Sorry, Zlatan for me. Lewandowski, what a player. But I think with the current decline that's been happening in strikers lately, he's getting a bit boosted. That's my opinion.
Bro, he scored
That's my
every
opinion.
single
That's my
game
opinion.
this season.
Yeah, he's doing well. But I think he's getting a little bit boosted.
Do you
I
know
don't think
what?
he- I don't
Nah,
have him. I don't
bro.
have him. I don't have Lewandowski.
For the whole decade,
I
he's
don't-
been putting up
I
dumb
don't have
numbers.
okay, when you're talking about the top strikers in let's not even say history in the last 20 years, I don't have Lewandowski up there with a lot of them personally.
Name who would be your top five
There's
of
Henry's,
recent time?
there's Henry's, there's
R9.
Zlatans, there's R9s, there's Eto's. I don't have Lewandowski up with them type of players personally.
name them.
Suarez,
Say
I just
them.
said Suarez. No, but this is off by head. This is off by heart. I just gave you five
Nah,
who I
bro.
wouldn't have him with personally. I wouldn't. You would have Lewandowski.
I hear what you're saying.
I
like,
wouldn't. But like.
But I don't.
You-
No,
let's
there's
talk
no
about-
way
let's
you're
talk
telling me
about-
Zlatan
Alright, wait.
has had a better decade
Alright,
than
bro,
Lewandowski.
let's talk about when,
no way.
Let's talk about when Bayern, with Bayern, yeah, for Lewandowski, for example, yeah, let's not act like he's not been part of when they've been bouncing out. He joined them after they won the.
He still hasn't won the Champions League with them.
He joined them after they won anything.
Yeah,
he was.
But
On
that's
the
not an
wait.
indictment on him.
He was on. No, why is it an indictment on Zlatan? But it's not an
I didn't
indictment on
say it was
Lewandowski. When he was under Pep Guardiola as well, the greatest attacking manager you've
That's
seen.
true.
Where's Lewandowski in those games? In those knockout games? Where was he? Come on, bro. You can't just.
I'm still picking Lewandowski. For me, like the
Above
level of
Suarez
consistency.
or above-
No, above Zlatan.
Okay, cool.
Suarez is the shoe-in. He's got that slot. But above Zlatan, nah. For me, he come to United, scored a couple of good goals. Like
A couple of good goals. Was he not top goal scorer? He didn't get 20 goals.
He got 20.
Like-
he got 27 goals.
And he was
28
sorry,
goals. We're
man.
forgetting that
Like
this
the-
guy was
you're
35,
counting-
36.
and
36, 35.
PSG, man, come on.
What do you
Like,
mean? Come on, you
he's
can't.
playing-
I'm
he's
not going to
playing
start
who?
hyping Bayern Munich and
playing,
then not hype.
he's playing the French bin men you were calling N'Golo Kante. Those are the guys he's playing every weekend.
And who's
Okay,
who's
but-
Lewandowski playing against?
I was
Come
about
on.
to
German
say,
bin men.
when
Come
you're
on.
playing against like
That's what it is.
when you're playing Augsburg and teams like FC Dusseldorf, you're telling me that them men are any better than
Listen,
I'm
Rennes?
telling you, the Bundesliga is better than the French.
Listen, Lewandowski was already the big dog of the Bundesliga when he was at Dortmund. Then you go and join Pep's Bayern. What do you expect? Of course,
Would you not want to play for Pep?
40 goals a season. What do you expect? Come on,
Well,
man.
yeah. How are you going to criticize him for that?
I'm not, but you're saying it like.
For
I'm
me-
saying, for
I'm
me,
saying you
like,
can't-
So what do you think? So what do you think? You think Zlatan or Lewandowski?
I would go Lewin. I'll be honest.
Oh
I'll go
my
Lewandowski
goodness.
purely
Okay.
on the fact that
Zlatan-
I'll be
you-
honest. I saw more
Zlatan-
Lewandowski.
I love
disrespected,
Zlatan, you
man.
know.
Zlatan's
I love.
disrespected.
Listen,
Zlatan's
I read his book
disrespected.
once a year, but
Go then.
nah.
I saw more.
Volleys, left foot,
I love
right
it.
foot,
I saw more of
Bicycle
Lewin.
Screamers.
kicks from 40 yards.
bicycle kicks.
Four goals
Yo.
against England.
Bro,
Listen,
Zlatan's a
I get
walking
it. I get
highlight
it.
reel.
I understand, but I'm still picking Lewandowski because I know what I'm getting every season.
Well, you don't know what
30
you're getting
goals
from
minimum.
Zlatan.
Zlatan, I don't know. He might
What?
kick someone
What
in
do
the
you mean?
face.
What do you mean?
him and
What?
Tyrone Mings. You never know what you get with Zlatan.
Okay,
I
but
love
overall,
him,
overall,
but nah.
Zlatan was Lewin. Overall,
Well, overall,
Zlatan was Lewin. Just, I just need to know that.
What, whole career?
Yeah.
I'm picking Zlatan probably.
Zlatan's too.
I'm picking Zlatan.
You said that.
Zlatan.
Like,
Did
Inter
he
Milan.
have that streak where he was
Inter
winning the
Milan.
league every
Winning-
single
we
year?
ended it. We
Bro,
ended it.
Kamba, so this is the question. I
Trash.
wanna-
We kill people. We
This
kill
is the
people.
question I want to ask you now
He was on a
because
mad streak.
what we're talking about is how iconic Zlatan is. Right?
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like in terms of like being an
Zlatan
icon,
is like a
he's
legend in the
clear.
streets.
Lewandowski will never be able to be that iconic.
Yeah.
We're
But
talking
when
about
we're
the best
saying-
of the best.
I'm
And
just
no,
talking about
and
on
again,
the pitch.
this is what I'm saying in terms of on the pitch. Like I said, I probably did not see enough. So for me, I knew Lewandowski was doing dirt. But in terms of centre forward, are you saying hands on for you that Lewandowski just there?
For
then
me,
It
yeah.
was definitely here.
For me-
Based on everything you've seen in this decade.
Lewandowski. is
Everything
the
you've
top-
seen in this decade.
You're treating him like he's some-
Lewandowski's- No, Lewandowski is top, yeah. But again, I think now he's getting more clout than he was when the other
Give
man
him his
them
clout, man.
were really out here. Zlatan name was always there. When Eto's and them were playing, when Henri, that's
only
too
thing-
far. When Eto's when Suarez was in his top form, when Aguero, when Van Persie, when these men were there, man, I wasn't really hearing
the only
Lewandowski's
knock
name
I'll
that
give
much.
on Lewandowski is I'm still waiting for his international moment as well at the big tournaments.
No,
he ain't turned up.
No, but
I know
again,
it's Poland,
but
but
it's-
you still got to
But
do what
back
you
to
can
what
do
you
for your
said
country.
earlier, how is that an indictment when you're playing for the national team you're playing for?
But
If
I
you
just
told
wanna
me,
see you
if
do
you said
something.
Messi,
Our big players not
no,
supposed to turn up
I
at
hear
big
that. But
tournaments
if you told me Messi, that makes sense because Messi's
he got
he
his
has
little
the
friendly
tools.
cup, man.
He has the tools. But anyway, quick question: who would you say has been probably maybe easy for you, but the best player of this decade?
What single best player?
Yeah,
The single best player of this decade.
I'm not asking you. I'm not
That's
asking
Messi
you.
or Ronaldo.
I'm not, yeah,
obviously.
I'm not asking
See,
you. Which one's
I'm
better,
actually kind of hurt that we ain't like that Neymar's not there, but we'll move, man. We move.
But who
of
would
the
you drop
decade.
out for Neymar?
Yeah, man. I
would
don't
you
know.
drop out for
It's
Neymar?
just hard, man.
It's
But
hard.
there's
And
a
you
lot
can't
of
start
honourable
doing
mentions, man.
Honourable mention, yeah, but you can't.
Robin. Iron Robin.
Nah, I can't forgive him for that World Cup miss.
Yeah,
The
but
final. Fuck that.
Quick one. Who? Messi. or Ronaldo?
Modric.
Who's had the
Oh,
better? who's had
Mr.
the
Ballon
better-
d'Or, right?
You shit on him every
but
week,
Mr.
bruv.
Ballon d'Or,
What you
right?
did?
Mr. Ballon d'Or. Oh, that's Pep
Pep
Guardiola.
Guardiola.
Pep.
That's Pep.
That's
Pep
well,
Guardiola.
yeah. I said there's room for discussion for others to be had. Does Klopp not deserve a mention? Does
Of the
Simeone not
decade.
deserve a
Of
mention?
the decade.
Yeah.
No, of the decade.
If it's
For
if
the-
it's not Guardiola, then you would have to put.
It's
Jose,
even
no?
it's
even Conte.
Conte's
Pep.
shout.
Like Zidane.
Champions
There's a
League.
couple of managers you can think about. It's not a
Pep.
shoot.
Pep in the
Fair
start
enough.
of this decade
I'd go
had the
Pep
greatest
as well,
team of all
but
time. It's as
To
simple as
say
that.
the others, I wouldn't say it's crazy as well.
No, but I'm saying
There's no
it's
one
definitely a shooting.
Simeone.
There's
For
no
what
one
he's
in the
done at
last-
Atletico.
There's no one in the. There's
Don't
no
underestimate
manager,
that, bro.
there's
He's
no
turning
manager-
from a Europa League
that has
club
won
into
as
a
much as
powerhouse
come as
side.
close.
Bro, we can check the stats. No manager has won more than Pep. We can check.
No one's close,
We
man.
can check the teams.
No
No
one's
manager's
close.
won more than Pep. Pep is.
Messi, a
He's the
treble
one, man.
side, and all the money in the world.
Yeah, you can say
Stop
whatever
doing
you
this.
want,
Stop.
but you can say whatever you want. But
Facts are
facts are facts. Pep
So-
is the
Okay,
one.
who
man.
has had best? Like
So you're basically
decade.
asking Messi or Ronaldo is what you're asking us.
Literally.
Let's,
That-
what we're
that's
gonna
the
say.
question.
We're gonna say Marcelo. or something.
Stop.
That's what
Isn't it? Like,
you're asking us Messi or
who you go
Ronaldo.
for?
I mean,
The
Ronaldo.
argument is going to be that Ronaldo's
I'm
gone.
going Ronaldo, because he's won the international tournament for me, and he's won the Champions Leagues. He's
what are we
got all the
asking
Ballon
here?
d'Ors.
Who's
We're not
better?
asking who's
He's
the
got
better player
everything.
in terms of this.
This decade, I think Ronaldo has done more. I think
how can you say he's done more?
because he's won the Euros.
So that's the only reason.
That's the only reason. I me personally, that's what I'd go. I'd give him the international tournament.
I mean, but let's
Don't say the Super
The thing is,
Classico.
we're talking about the decade, so that means I can't include what he did at Manchester
No,
United.
Exactly.
no,
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no.
asking.
It's just
Okay.
Madrid almost.
So
And
then
so you-
it's Messi then, because listen, why we kind of somehow kind of put,
Forget what
we,
Messi's.
no. We kind of forget that Messi and Ronaldo were in the same league, right? Barcelona and Messi dominated Real Madrid. The titles are 6-1.
One.
Yeah.
No, how many La Ligas did Ronaldo win? 2.
The
Yeah,
only one.
2. One with Zidane,
One
and one
with
with
Zidane,
Jose.
one with Jose.
And the rest were one with Simeone and then Messi. Come on, we ignore that. Yeah, we went to Europe, but let's not forget La Liga. It was total dominance. That was
Yeah.
Messi's world. You know what I mean? He still went off and still won in the Champions League as well. It can't just be ignoring the league just because of
No,
international
but this is what I'm
glory.
saying. You can't. I don't know, man. You lot do this fucking. How many silverware he's won? I don't know. For me, I
But
think
you're talking about because he won the Euros.
pull up their numbers. Pull up their numbers.
You're talking about
Pull
because
up
he
their
won the
numbers.
Euros.
Because
that's-
exactly the same. You're putting it
No,
Exactly.
I'll be
Like you're
pretty
splitting
confident.
hairs here.
No,
You're
I'll be
splitting
pretty
two of the
confident.
best players of all time.
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course you're gonna split hairs.
If we're talking about if we're talking about from what in the last 10 years, you're gonna see more goals and more assists from Messi than
Yeah,
than
well, nah,
Ronaldo.
this looks comprehensive still.
you will.
Apart from
It-
2015, 2016, it looks very comprehensive.
No, don't get
Oh,
twisted.
no.
There's seasons that
2014.
Ronaldo outscored Messi, but I'm saying over the 10-year
Oh,
span,
actually.
Messi will have more goals than Ronaldo.
Listen,
and
mate.
assists.
Nobody will be mad at if you pick
And
either
won
one,
a
to
lot
be
more.
honest.
And won a lot more. Like so, and this is like you
But
see
Cam,
me
onto
when
your point-
when I'm bigging up Ronaldo, I include Man U, I include everything. But
Yeah,
if
the
we
fact
can't
that he's
include
moved to
Man-
multiple
if I can't
countries and
include
everything.
Manchester United and that first Ballon d'Or and those 3 Premier League titles and all that stuff, then it's Lionel Messi.
I
Man.
can't lie, honestly, like, from what Cam's saying.
It's Lionel Messi.
Cam, are you trying to say that Messi ran Ronaldo out of the country?
He didn't run him out of nowhere because Ronaldo left for Champions Leagues. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I
He
was
didn't
gonna
run him
say,
out,
bro. We won a hat trick
But-
of Champions League,
but the La Liga,
and that's what
is
Messi
Messi.
really
That's
wanted.
dominance, yeah.
the La Liga is Messi's.
But
Let's
Messi won a
be
Champions
realistic.
Leagues. That's
We
why he's
say?
out here giving speeches every season.
He did win Champions Leagues though.
I know,
He
but
won-
I'm saying
he won
Ronaldo.
2011,
You're talking
he
about
won
the league titles
2015.
that he's took off Ronaldo. Ronaldo took the Champions Leagues that Messi wanted as well. Let's just
Yeah,
acknowledge that.
absolutely.
So what, is that the balance to it?
That's the balance. Of course,
So
that's the balance
Ronaldo
for me.
has
Ronaldo has
he has 3 Champions Leagues in this decade. Messi has 2, right? He has 2011.
yeah, and then
2015.
2015, yeah.
And then, I mean, it's 3, and then you
And
compare
then you got
6
the
titles,
Euros.
and then you compare 6 titles to 1, no, to 2.
Copa del Rey.
Copa del Rey.
Messi got Messi. No,
Let's
no,
get
but
them
no,
out of
I'm
here,
not-
man.
it's
No,
fair,
it's
it's not even about.
we
but
ain't counting
okay,
that.
even if we're not talking about that, and we're talking about the players, Messi will have more goals. Messi will have more assists.
But onto what you were saying
Assists,
earlier,
yeah,
if
you
you look at
definitely say, yeah.
iconic moments, there's
Are
an
you gonna
argument
tell me
to
that
say
Messi-
that.
Who's got?
No, they both have a lot, but
Yeah.
the ones that stand out are definitely going to be Ronaldo's one.
Because of the Champions League games, yeah. I mean, you could say that. You could
So
say
you can
that.
make that argument. But listen, man.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say that.
We'll
Still.
leave that to you lot. That's another episode of Stoppage Time TV. You know what to do. Follow the socials and all of that lovely stuff. But yeah, man.
You got. Let me see. Compare. Put them all together.
Bro, you should.
I'm gonna go transfer. Okay.